Hit that subscribe button, guys, for the latest in boxing. I have a question for these big boxing channels. How much is Deontay Wilder paying you guys? And can you hit him up and tell him how much he'll pay me to talk highly about him? Because, like, one thing I notice is when it comes to, like, big boxing channels, and when I mean big boxing channels, I'm talking about the boxing channels that got thousands upon thousands of subscribers. The boxing channels that talk about boxing, you know, give you their opinions about boxers, the sport of boxing. And I'm talking about, of course, guys like 78 Sports TV, Eagles Boxing, Deontay's Boxing Nation. You know, all these three guys that I just mentioned have one thing in common. They're all big American boxing channels, right? They all have over 50,000 subscribers. And they all have another thing in common. They all defend Deontay Wilder. Like, all they do is defend Deontay Wilder. Let me let you guys know this. This is not a beef video. I actually am cool with guys like Eagles Boxing. I've been watching Eagles Boxing for years. 78 Sports TV, I'm not really a fan of his, but I have nothing against 78 Sports TV. Deontay's Boxing Nation, I like a lot of his videos. But a lot of these guys are very biased. Like, they're very biased. When it comes to Eagles Boxing, all he ever does is kiss Deontay Wilder's ass. Say that it's the other guy's fault. It's Anthony Joshua's fault. Labels them the cowards. He's been doing this for years. It's always their fault. It's never Deontay Wilder's fault. Deontay's Boxing Nation, always defending Deontay Wilder. Always saying how he is this, he's that. And don't even get me started with 70. You know, out of all these guys that I just mentioned, I think 78 Sports TV is by far, the... I don't know how much Deontay Wilder's paying 78 Sports TV. But he is... It's pretty obvious that he's slipping him something. I don't know what it is, but I've never seen a boxing channel defend... I've never seen a big boxing channel defend Deontay Wilder as much as 78 Sports TV. Now, 78 Sports TV actually has, you know, interviewed Deontay Wilder on several occasions, right? He's interviewed him, so I think it's a thing where he's very biased towards him. He's a massive fanboy towards him because of the fact that he interviews him. Because a lot of times when the channel interviews a fighter, they become fanboys of them. This is why I never interview a fighter, because then I'll be biased towards this fighter. So I think that's what it is, because he interviews, he has a good relationship with Deontay Wilder, so he's going to be kissing his ass a lot. But because, you know, when it comes to other boxing channels, like, just look at me, for example. Just look at me. When I make videos, I talk about what I feel about the certain fighter. I might chastise his resume. I might chastise some of the things he's currently doing. But I will give him credit. Right? I've made videos chastising Deontay Wilder several times. But look at my past videos. I've also made videos defending Deontay Wilder. I've defended Deontay Wilder. I've made videos criticizing Anthony Joshua. I've made videos criticizing Eddie Hearn. Look at my past videos. Look at my past history. I've made videos, it might be hard to believe, because I had this guy tell me, "Are you an Eddie Hearn fanboy?" But any of my OG subscribers will tell you I have criticized guys like Dillian White, guys like, Eddie Hearn, guys like, Anthony Joshua in the past. But then I've also talked good about them because I try to keep it fair. I try to keep it fair. When I'm talking about a fighter, I talk about them when I feel, bad, when I feel the need, when I feel that they're doing something bad that I don't like as a boxing fan, so I'll talk bad about them. But then if I see they're doing something good, I'll talk good about them. But when it comes to a lot of these big, channels who talk boxing, they never play it fair. It's always just this guy's fault. It's always this guy's fault. It's always this guy's fault. And they always praise a certain fighter. In this case, it's Deontay Wilder. He's the guy they always praise. And you know what I find funny about this is I remember when Eagle Boxing was a small channel. I remember, because I've been watching Eagles Boxing since he had less subscribers than I do, like since he had like 1,000 subscribers. And I remember back then he made a video calling out the bigger channels, he calling out guys like, ES News, Fight Hype, these bigger boxing channels. And back then, these guys had like 50,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers. And back then, Ego had like 1,000 subscribers. And I remember Ego Boxing will go around saying, he made a video saying, why these guys are biased towards certain fighters. I remember him saying this, these guys are biased towards certain fighters. You could tell it's obvious that they're biased towards this fighter because guys like ES News would always be kissing Manny Pacquiao's ass. He would like be kissing Manny Pacquiao, making positive videos about Manny Pacquiao. So he would talk about like, why is he so biased towards Manny Pacquiao? Why is he favoring him? It's so obvious he's biased. And I find it funny that he said this about ES News because 5 years later, now Eagles Boxing is a massive channel. Now he has 150,000 subscribers. Now he's doing the exact thing he said that channels like ES News were doing to Manny Pacquiao, to Deontay Wilder, and several other American fighters. Right now, when you look at his channel, all he ever does is defend American fighters, and he, especially like, he's really biased for Deontay Wilder, and same thing goes for 78 Sports TV. So again, I'm curious to know how much is getting paid. That's all I'm saying. And again, this is not a beef video. It's just something that I've noticed when it comes to the big American boxing channels. It's as if all these big American boxing channels met each other someplace in Cincinnati, sat down in a room and said, you know what, let's all just defend Wilder. Let's defend Wilder, let's defend Wilder, and let's criticize Anthony Joshua. Let's always defend Wilder no matter what, because that's all what they seem to do. That's all they seem to do. I hope that one day I never become that way. I hope that if I ever have 100,000 subscribers and I'm getting thousands of views, I hope that I don't make videos being biased towards a certain fighter and just always being biased for this fighter and shitting on the other fighter because, I'm a big channel and, I have an agenda, or I got in contact with this other dude who's a big channel and he told me, let's do this. I hope that never happens to me. I hope that I always try to keep it fair and even, because that's what I do on my channel. Look at my past history. I've made fun of, I used to crucify Dillian White, but I'm defending him now because I feel that he deserves a shot over Wilder. I used to make fun of Tyson Fury, and I still do at times, but I also talk highly about him at times. I've made fun of Deontay Wilder, but I've also talked highly about him. You know what I'm saying? I've criticized Anthony Joshua. I used to criticize Joseph Parker, and then I'll defend him. So, because I always try to keep it I always try to balance my channel. But a lot of these big boxing channels don't seem to have that ability. They just seem to be biased and just kiss one fighter's ass and just, crucify and turn a blind eye to everything the other fighter does. And it's always the American channels. That's the truth.